Hi, this is Frank Warren. You're watching Lights Out.
One. This is FAISAL Khan for Lights Out, and with me via Zoom, delighted to be joined by my good old friend, Mr. Nathan Gorman. Nathan, how's it going?
Oh, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. How's the family? How's your health? How are you getting on throughout these unprecedented times?
Oh, good, thanks, mate. That's the main thing. Oh, as long as everyone else is okay, that's the main priority, really, is the family. Yeah, we're all good. How's you? How's everyone your end?
Yeah, we're all good, thank you. Thank you very much for asking. What's the countdown like for Christmas this year for yourself? Obviously, it's a bit different. We've just come out of a lockdown, but we're still going through this pandemic. How excited are you for Christmas this year?
I am excited to see my little one's face, obviously, on Christmas morning. That's the main thing, really. Obviously, we're in very weird times at the minute, so you can only make Christmas the best of what you got. But like I said before, as long as everyone's out healthy and everyone's all right, that's the main thing, really. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I've got a nice couple of days off. Got 2-3 days off, so I'm looking forward to it. To be fair.
Fair enough. Good man. And in terms of staying in shape and getting out for 2021, how's it going in the gym? And what can you tell me?
Really good, mate. Really good. I've lost a bit more weight since the last time I fought. I'm getting a bit stronger and practicing more things what I should be doing. Practice on the bad things, really, instead of the good things. Yeah, it's going really good. I'm just looking forward to getting out. I spoke with Frank about 2-3 weeks ago, and he said about February time, 2021. So about 12 weeks, something like that time it'll be, won't it?
What can you tell us about a potential opponent for your next fight in 2021?
It'd be someone tough, mate. Obviously, the days is gone where I box someone, an 8 round or something. I'd imagine anyway. I imagine it'd be someone tough. Ideally, I'd like to box someone like Lucas Bryan or someone with good reputation, someone at that board level. So he'd be a good opponent for me, I think.
There's a lot of people that have been speaking about a potential fight between yourself and Fabio Wardley. That's obviously a fight that could take place in 2021, perhaps even for the British title, because a lot of people are expecting Joyce to vacate that title at some point as we go into the new year. What's your thoughts on that fight, and what's the chances of that fight being made due to the fact that you're with Queensbury and he's with Matchroom?
I think it can happen. Let's be fair, Frank and Eddie are still waiting to have that lunch, aren't they? So hopefully they can do the BT versus Sky, and me and Fabio can be one of the fights. I know Fabio is a good lad. He's a very, very good fighter. Like you said, I'd expect myself for Joyce to vacate the British title. And if it comes vacant, me and Fabio really is the front runners for it. So it'd be good to box for the title again and hopefully get the win this time anyway.
You mentioned that Sky versus BT thing between Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. It's something that's got the fans really excited, but that lunch hasn't happened between the two. Do you reckon that's going to happen at some point, or do you think
it could? Listen, mate, it could happen. It all depends on how they do it and who wants to do it. Really, they both seem keen, and I imagine all the fighters are keen. So why not? There's some unreal cracking fights there to be made. So why not?
Let's talk a bit about last weekend. Two guys you know very well, Daniel Dubois and Joyce. I just want to get straight into it, Nathan. Do you believe Daniel Dubois quit, or do you think it was a case of it just got too much for him in the end?
Quit's a very strong word. Listen, Daniel's only 23 years of age. I think what's happened to him is he's been bowling over guys. Even myself, when I fought him, that was an easy fight for him, to be fair. Obviously, with circumstances and that, there's no point really making excuses. I boxed him that night and he beat me that night quite easily, convincing. And I think when he's got him with Joyce, someone what's taking his shots, pushing him back, hitting him, making him taste his own bloody sport, this isn't the script. So unless he learns from it, see, Joyce has learned all this previously from the amateurs. Look who he's boxing, the amateurs, WSB, all his professional fights, Brian Jennings, Ian Lewis on his first debut, on his first fight. They're tough fights. Romain Stavine, former world champion. These are incredibly tough fights. So Joyce knows exactly what it's about. Getting really hit back by big men. And I think it doomed on Daniel last Saturday when he had a 19 stone man jabbing his face in. And you don't know what to call it. Yeah, I won't want to say he quit. It could be an experience. If he does it, bearing in mind if he fights again, he steps up and he does the same thing again, then obviously we know the answer then. But unless he comes back and he annihilates everyone like he's previously been doing, then he's got to take it as experience. So for me, it's all about his comeback, not the setback, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It all depends how he comes back.
You think that, I mean, as you mentioned, the experience, and we've not seen Dubois in a fight like that throughout his career where he's fought with a brilliant amateur pedigree, a guy that's fought some really good fighters as well. Do you think that played its part along with the injury to the eye and the pressure and the caliber of the fight that it was?
100%. Daniel thought in his own heart and mind, he might not have done, I'm just going off what I think, that he was going to knock Joyce out in 3 or 4 rounds. Unless you're hitting Joyce with a baseball bat, I don't think you're going to knock him out in 3 or 4 rounds. And it proved it. Daniel's a very big puncher, but he couldn't budge Joyce. Every time he hit him, he just walked forward and brushed it off. So it's all right having plan A, but you need plan B, plan B, and plan C. And Joyce proved the other night he had plan A, plan B, and C, because he was jabbing, moving, he'd hold him, hug him up. You know what I mean? So he was very, very clever. Daniel had to go 4.5 minutes. He'd have been the European champion. Strangely, I don't know how they had him up 8 rounds, because I thought Joyce to win it myself personally. But if he'd have waited on for 4.5 minutes, he'd have won the fight. So
the criticism that he's receiving, as you mentioned, he's only 23 years old, and it's obviously not the first time we've seen this in boxing with young fighters.
Listen, mate. In boxing, nothing's set in stone. See, people jump on the bandwagon saying, "Oh, you quit, you're shit, you're this, you're that." At the end of the day, try and jump in the ring and fight someone with one eye. It's hard, very, very hard.
You can imagine this. To
be fair, fighting someone in general is hard. So never mind fighting someone with one eye, especially big men, 19 stone men. When they punch you, they seriously hurt, and they're doing a lot of damage. So it's all right saying from the outside, "Oh, you're this, you're that, you're this." Go if you think you're good enough. Go in there and have a go.
Do you think maybe the corner perhaps should have stopped it a bit earlier? How damaged that left eye was?
Yeah, and no. Yeah, because you don't know how much damage would potentially could have happened. No, on the other hand, because you had 4.5 minutes, you could have filled your way through it, held him, hug him, took a knee, kill the clock, spit your gum shield out, do whatever you gotta do, just to kill the clock and get the victory. So, but like I said, going back to what I previously said, that's plan B and plan C. I think Daniel just had plan A in his arsenal that night, and that was to knock out Joyce. I don't think it was happening for him.
Let's talk a bit about next weekend. Anthony Joshua's back in the ring, defends his world titles against Kubrat Pulev. A lot of people are thinking that it's a foregone conclusion, and they expect Anthony Joshua to just walk through Kubrat Pulev. How much of a big test is it going to be for Anthony Joshua next Saturday night?
Very, very big. In the heavyweight division, no one's a foregone conclusion, because prime example, last year when he fought Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was 60-1, 70-1 underdog. You get it. That's what happens. No one's a foregone conclusion. In heavyweight division, that's why it's exciting. One punch can change the full fight. And Kubrat Pulev is a very, very powerful man. Very good jab, good amateur career, good professional career. It's a good fight, to be fair. Obviously, I'm expecting Anthony Joshua to win and win in good style. We can't write him off.
What was your thoughts, Nathan, on your cousin Tyson asking the BBC to remove him as a nominee from the Sports Personality of the Year award yesterday?
Tyson's his own man. And like he said on the video, he's won the heart of the people, and he's the people's champion already. So, like he said, he doesn't need an award to know that he's done something great, because he already has done it. He's helped thousands upon millions of people with mental health issues. So he doesn't really need an award for that, because he knows for a certain fact he's already done it.
Do you think that? Do you think 2 years ago, when you come back into the sport, lost all that weight, became an ambassador for mental health, and then went to America the first time round and put in that tremendous performance he did against Deontay Wilder in their first fight. Do you think that was the right time to make Tyson a nominee for the Sports Personality of the Year award?
100%, in my opinion, mate. He should have got it when he beat Klitschko, but you know what I mean. It happens. It all depends on the time and the scale you're in, really. You know what I mean? In my opinion, he should have won it 5 years ago. But like he said, if that's his choice, I fully believe he is the best, you know, personality in Britain at the minute.
Well, he's definitely a big contender, that's for sure. To be honest, I wasn't surprised when I seen him release that video. I kind of had a feeling he wouldn't want to be a nominee for the award itself. Nathan, what can we expect to see in 2021 from yourself?
Hopefully, make some big performances and win some titles along the way. And some good fights.
Perhaps
some good fights to be in. Pardon?
And perhaps the British title as well?
Definitely the British and Commonwealth, and who knows, we get the European if all goes well.
Is there anyone in this division right now that you really want to fight? I know you mentioned Lucas Brown a few times. I've spoken about Fabio Wardley, but is there anyone else that you would really love to get in the ring with next year?
Truthfully, whoever it is for the British title, because that's my main priority next year. Is the British title. I want to win it. I boxed for it last year. Obviously, I came up short, so hopefully I can get the chance to redeem myself and be a British champion next year.
Well, fingers crossed you do get that British strap around your waist. Also, fingers crossed you have a very good Christmas and a Happy New Year, Nathan.
Same to you, my mate, anyway.
Thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure as always, and we look forward to catching up with you next year.
Thank you. Take care, brother.
Thank you for talking to Lights Out, mate.
No problem, mate. Bye-bye.